17 minutes past 4. Now, I keep saying it, and I'll never apologise for it, but there are some brilliant things going on in our part of the world. Seriously, we're pioneering in all sorts of things. When we find examples, we can't rest because we want to bring it to you on BBC Tees and tell you about it and shout about it and really do that about it. But you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm holding my fists in the air and saying, this is brilliant. But with that in mind, we've been told about some exciting news in the world of steel here on Teesside. And joining me in the studio, man of steel himself, Metal Talc, birth of a new industry. What's this all about, Andy Bell?
You are the only grown man I know who uses talc.
I love talc. I'm a massive talker.
You have a frightening love for talc.
I have a big supply.
You do. Listen, I'll explain this talc reference in a second, but I've been over to the Materials Processing Institute in Southbank for you.
So what do they actually do?
Right, they do lots of things, but in a nutshell, the Institute develops technology for industry. Now, it's been working away to convince a partner that was destined to set up in Sheffield to don't do that, come here to Teesside instead. And guess what? The Institute has succeeded because the company is called Liberty Powder Metals, and this is where the metal talc comes in. So Liberty is working on cutting-edge way of taking metal and basically turning it into a fine powder like talc that can be used in a 3D printer to produce metal objects. So Chris McDonald is the CEO of the Materials Processing Institute, and he's described this as a technological first in the UK.
This is a brand new area of technology. In fact, it's the birth of a brand new industry, really high value industry, and it's starting here in Teesside. So Liberty Powder Metals are investing in a £10 million project to build a new research and production facility here at the Materials Processing Institute.
Why Teesside, and how much of a fight unfolded to ensure Liberty put roots down here?
Well, this project was originally going to happen in Sheffield. So Liberty are based there, and they just thought that they would do this in Sheffield. But we found out about it, I and my colleagues here at the Institute, and we approached the company and said, we think you can do a better job on this if you do it in Teesside. And in that, we were supported very much by Tees Valley Mayor and by the combined authority. We worked together as a group. We put a compelling case to Liberty. They were able to get support that they needed. They could access the unique facilities and expertise here at the Institute, and we can work in partnership to deliver the project for Liberty. This is by far the biggest investment here, and we absolutely see it attracting more. So once you get the materials in place, you can look at the supply chain as well. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. So this is going to create some new jobs here. These jobs are going to be the first of their kind in the UK. People can honestly say they're doing something that nobody else is doing, and the growth predicted for this industry is phenomenal. The market size of £8 billion. This is an industry that's just starting and starting in Teesside.
Now, the Tees Valley Combined Authority has invested £4.6 million in this. Did anyone explain the science behind how this process works?
They tried.
Straight in you're out of there.
Yeah, well, basically, so this is my interpretation, okay? The process involves solid metal being fed into a Vim furnace and then an atomizer via a tundish.
Of course it does.
In a process of vacuum induction melting.
Important.
No idea, but that's what I was told. Okay, the important thing, though, is to consider the potential of being able to mass produce powdered metal that can then be put through a printer to make things, okay? It's massive. They reckon it could be to the tune of an £8 billion industry.
And they see this as a real innovation for Teesside.
Yeah, think about it. You're no longer dealing with raw, bulky slabs of steel that might need transporting or then machine cutting to shape. You have that raw metal in powder form, which is far easier to transport. And when it's ran through a printer, you have bespoke prints that would dramatically reduce the level of material waste. Now, I have to say, I don't know enough about the costs of this process at this stage, but obviously Liberty see this as an approach with huge financial potential.
Now, you've been speaking to Liberty. They think that this is the start of, huge things here on Teesside. Am I right?
Absolutely. They want this up and running by April, and they've told me that within 5 years to have a second atomizer up and running, which would lead to around 50 people working on the site. Now, Dan Frith is the manufacturing and engineering manager and says they're here for the long term.
Essentially, this is just the start of it, because as designers and engineers learn how to use the products and more materials become available and they understand the capabilities, then the market will grow. So it's really exciting to be part of this. We're the first company to have one of these units in the UK of the design that we're getting. There is the support of the local council, the TVCA support for attracting the businesses to the area. There's the skills from the steelworks, from the process industries. You know, the people in this area have skills that we need. There's also places like TTE that support the apprentices, bring on really high quality apprentices that again we will need to use in this business.
Exciting times.
It's really exciting times. Can't wait to get our first order out the door.
This is amazing stuff, and it's happening here on Teesside. Thanks very much to Fireman Elvis. Says, I'm with you, Gaz. I use talc all the time. Gaz, I love talc too. Thank you very much, says Len with the long moustache. Hey, talc is where it's at, here on Teesside.